This is the new Scott Addict 10, and where it fits in the Scott lineup is kind of interesting. I mean, they already have two race bikes. You have the foil, which is the all-out aero weapon, and then you have the Addict RC, which is the well-rounded kind of do-it-all race bike. So if this isn't a race bike, what the heck is it? Well, it's actually something I think a little more interesting. It's a modern road bike built for real-world riding, not World Tour watts, which raises the question, what does a road bike look like when you stop designing it for pros? Scott's answer is simple. It looks like comfort, versatility, big tire clearance, and clean integration. It's a bike made for the 99.999% of riders who aren't chasing World Tour podiums. And Scott started with comfort. They reshaped the back end of the frame. It's got a slimmer seat tube, it's more compliant top tube, and drop seat stays that flex outward. The result, as they say, is 25% more compliance than the Addict RC and a whopping 50% more compliance than the old Addict. But with all this extra comfort, how do you maintain the speed and efficiency that the Addict's known for? Well, instead of dialing it back, Scott doubled down with 38mm tire clearance. I think that's really square in that all-road territory. It's the kind of volume that you feel immediately in grip, comfort, and momentum. I think that bigger tires often change the character of a bike, so the geometry and design have to support a lively, responsive ride. So Scott gave the Addict a full geometry refresh. The stack is 5mm taller, the reach is 5mm shorter, and the chain stays have been shortened by 2mm. And for comparison purposes, I think it's worth noting that having no spacers on the new Addict is equal to 35mm of spacers on an Addict RC. So the fit is more relaxed, but the handling is still tight. It's still very much an Addict and still very much a modern road bike. In fact, the Addict keeps the same head tube stiffness and bottom bracket stiffness as the Addict RC. So even with the comfort tuning, the performance backbone is still there. Now with this one, you have your choice of two carbon layups. The HMF layup gives you kind of a well-balanced feel, and the HMX layup gives you a lighter, more premium ride, albeit at an increased cost. And I think really one of the things that defines a modern road bike is what makes it a good daily driver. What are the features that are available? The Addict has some answers there as well. It hides a repair kit in the down tube. Tubes, levers, pumps, all gone from your pocket now. It also has optional frame bag mounts underneath of the top tube. In fact, you don't even notice they're there unless you run your hand underneath of the top tube. They're totally hidden. And one of my favorite features is that every key adjustment works with a single T25 tool that's stored neatly in the bar end. The test build I received is the Addict 10 model with the HMX carbon layup. It's a full SRAM force build with a 4633 and a 1036 cassette. This one has 160mm rotors front and rear, 42mm Fulcrum Win carbon wheels, laced with 34mm Schwalbe 1 tires, and a Synchros bar, stem, and seat post. Retails for $6,699 US, and I think it's worth noting that this one includes a power meter. I think that's awesome, and I think it's something that more brands should include at this price point. This comes in at a pretty reasonable weight, but if you wanted something lighter, there's the Addict Premium that's $1,000 more and features Durace. But if you're me, I think you go with the SRAM Force. I think the new SRAM groups are exceptional, and Force is basically indistinguishable from Red. It's lighter, more pricey, brother. But I digress. So on paper, this looks like Scott is listening to and paying attention to consumer trends. The Addict RC is the race bike, the foil's the aero missile that I've been long-term testing for months. But this new Addict, this one feels like it's designed for the way that most of us actually ride. It promises more comfort than a race bike, more capability than an endurance bike, and just enough of that speed and that excitement to keep things spicy and fun. At least that's what the specs suggest. But does it actually redefine what a road bike should be in 2026? Does it change what we expect from a modern road bike? Well, we'll find out soon enough. I'll be back in a couple weeks with a full review. If you like this video, I'll post links to my review of the Scott Addict RC Pro, and look out for the long-term review of the Scott Foil RC Pro. Thanks a ton for watching. Until next time.